All right, I'm an idiot. I thought that I wasn't recording that whole time, but I was, so that's why there's 2 videos. Anyways, let's continue. So C equals -1, means it moves down 1. Now we have to find our period. So the period is pi divided by b. So it's going to be pi divided by b, which our b is 2. So I'm just going to put that in there. So period equals pi divided by 2. So our period is pi halves. Okay, we're going to count by 1/4 of the period. So that's going to be 1/4. My period is pi over 2. So 1/4 of pi over 2. And if I just multiply this out, that's pi over 8. So I'm counting by pi over 8. Okay. So now I'm just going to fill out this t-chart here. You're always going to fill out a t-chart when you're graphing tangent. Tangent starts with a t, might as well write a t-chart, right? Makes sense. Not really. But you have to, every time you graph tangent, I would definitely draw a t-chart. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, so you always start at 0 for the x value. I'll just write that right here. You always, every single time, start at 0 for the x value. Okay, so here my x value is going to be 0. And then you always start at c for your y value. So I'll write that this way. Always start at c for the y value. So c here is -1. Which means my y value here is going to be -1. Okay, and then this is where this count by thing comes in handy. So for my x's here, I'm counting by pi over 8. So I'm just going to keep adding pi over 8. So 0 plus pi over 8 is just pi divided by 8. And I'm going to do 5 of these. I need to have 5 values for my x here. And then pi over 8 plus pi over 8 is pi over 4, because 1/8 plus 1/8 is 1/4. So pi over 8 plus pi over 8 is pi over 4. Okay, then if we add pi over 8 again, that's 3 pi over 8. And then if we add pi over 8 one more time, that's going to be pi over 2. If you're struggling getting these values, I'll help you out tomorrow. But now I'm going to use my calculator. There are patterns to this, but I want you guys to discover the pattern. So I'm just going to pull out my calculator and show you a way to do. You can do all of this in your calculator. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my calculator and I'm going to make sure it is in radian mode. So it's in radians, we're good. And then, so my x value for this one is pi over 8. So I'm going to plug pi over 8 in for theta. So this is going to be 3 tangent of 2 times pi over 8. And you have to actually put pi into there. And then make sure you close, you have to double close that parenthesis. And then minus 1. And I get 2. So the y value at pi over 8 is 2. Okay, I'm going to do same thing for pi over 4. So 3 tangent of 2 times pi over 4 minus 1. And there's an error. And if we look back up here, remember how we had vertical asymptotes where it was undefined? That means it's undefined at pi over 4. Okay. So I'm just going to quit that. I can't, pi over 4, there's an error. It's undefined right there. Then I'm going to put 3 pi over 8 into here. So I do 3 tangent of 2 times 3 pi over 8, subtract 1, and I get -4. So this right here is -4. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing for pi over 2. So 3 tangent 2 times pi over 2, close the parentheses, minus 1, and I get -1. Okay. Then I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to plot all those points. So at 0, so when x equals 0, y equals -1. So this is where I start right there. Okay. At pi over 8, so pi over 8 is halfway between pi over 4 and 0. So halfway in between here, So about right there, I go up and it is at 2. So I'm going to just graph a point at 2. Okay. At pi over 4, it's undefined. This means that there is a vertical asymptote right there. So I'm just going to draw this vertical asymptote right there. It's undefined. And then at 3 pi over 8, which is halfway between these two, we go down to -4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's right there. And then at pi over 2, it's -1, so it's right there. That is one cycle. That is really what I'm looking for. And then I can just draw this out. So if we look up here, you always start down and you go up, and it just kind of makes like, I don't even know what kind of shape that is. Just a little wavy shape. So this is going to go up like this, and then it's just going to hug that asymptote, and it's going to go clear up there, and it also is going to come down this way, and it's going to go down right there. Same thing with this one. This is going to go down, and it's going to go up, and it's just going to hug these asymptotes. Okay, and the asymptotes are at every pi over 2. So that means that, pi over 4, if we add pi over 2 to that, that's 3 pi over 4. So there's an asymptote right here. There's another asymptote right here. There's another one right here. You don't have to draw all these asymptotes. All I'm really looking for is this part right there. But if you do draw all the other asymptotes, that just means that you understand this more. And you can see that there's kind of a pattern to it. So you're always going to start down here at -4, then you go up to -1, then you go up to 2. Same thing here, -4, -1, 2. -4, -1, 2. And you can just draw all these, and you have all these tangent lines. Okay, I'm going to save this other example. I was going to do it during this video, but it's getting kind of long, and I'm just going to save this for class. So make sure you wrote all of this down. If you're still really, really confused, I want you to go back and rewatch this video and see if you can kind of pick up on what I was doing. Okay, I will see you tomorrow in class. Make sure you watch take the quiz.